doesn't keep cutting out now. There's some indication that the problem will be resolved, but if not, it's not the end of the world since I'm just screwing around here anyway. Not doing anything critical. I was just leveling up bleeding familiars. Takes a million years. And unfortunately is a major epilepsy concern, the way I was doing it. But I'm going to go and, I'm gonna go and, words. Kill some different enemies, there we go. Which are less, well, I'll kill some more Dark Octopus a little bit first to level up the demon a bit, maybe, but I don't want to sit there doing that forever. Because it's, not great for people who would like to actually watch me do something, because I'm just standing there jumping and pressing the attack button over and over again. It is definitely not an interesting thing. It's just bam, jump, bam, jump. This is it. Forever. Actually, let me see here. The familiars are actually super awesome in this game. The problem is that they take way too much experience to level up, and it kind of removes a lot of the potential fun for them. Like, the demon's never particularly good, but like, the ghost gets super awesome at really high levels, and like, if you could have a high level bat familiar at a low level, then it would actually be useful, because whenever you're in bat form, the bats that are added, actually, just a second, I can turn my webcam on now. Not that there's a whole lot going on here, but still. But then you could use the bat fireball attack. Like, you should get this earlier on in the game, realistically, because it's really wimpy, and it would be awesome to be able to actually use it. And with the bat familiar leveled up, you can. Because if like the high level bat, I think you have 5 of them or something. I don't remember how many actually. Like, I think I have 2 right now, and that's extra fireballs for extra damage. And there's some bosses that it would actually be nice to be able to do that against, because you still can't get hit, otherwise it debats you. And it does cost MP to be in bat form and stuff, so it's balanced. But it's kind of not balanced in that you're in that you can't ever take advantage of it, because the bat familiar has to be so crazy high level. Trying to adjust my volume a bit here. I think it was like picking up my game sound through my headset somehow. Apparently it's currently worth 49 per clear or something here. It goes down because they get less experience as they level up, but yeah, now it'll take 4 clears to level it up once. And It's not the best, but... Well, this is the best place to level them up, but... It's... the point is, it's a slow process. Can you imagine how long it would take to level this up, like, legitimately, well, in a normal sort of way, like, over the course of regular gameplay? Like... even if you just assume it's like, oh, every enemy's worth the same amount, so you can kill mermen or something, you'd have to just sit there and kill mermen! That's not good. Symphony of the Night is definitely not perfect, but it has a massive amount of potential. There are a few things that could be streamlined and a couple of improvements here and there, like most notably familiar leveling. It's too slow. Because by the time you have a high-level familiar, the high-level familiar is completely worthless to you. Like, if you just focused on one familiar and leveled it up all the way, that would be neat, but that wouldn't happen before you beat the game into the ground already. You know, I'm at this point just sitting here spamming Power of Sire with the duplicator on. And that's what it takes to level it up in the first place, so it's like, there's no way. It's like, do you really think Dracula or Galamoth or anybody stands a chance against me if I'm doing this nonsense? I tell you what, though, final guards are actually more dangerous than the bosses. They do so much damage and they block like crazy. And they're in a position where it's a little difficult to dodge their attacks if you also want to attack them. I'll get the demon up to 40. I'll get everything to 40 and then I'll go do something else. I'll get out the sword and then the sword familiar and go murder crap for some other weapons. And just to see what the rare drops are off of various enemies. I might as well just keep using the Power of Sire unless I have a weapon I want to show off. I probably won't level up my Muramasa anymore today, on purpose anyhow. But at some point I'll probably stream myself wasting a bunch of time leveling it up as well. Because I already got it to like 40 or something huge. It's just amusing to be able to do, but yeah, I haven't collected a Chrysagram yet. I didn't get a Fist of Tulkas yet. I don't have a Gurthang, but I don't really need to get one of those. I've got a Muramasa and I have Mournblade, so there's not a whole lot to show there. It just is, its special ability is as though Dark Metamorphosis were active. But only for that attack, so it's kind of I still need to get a Medusa shield, which is easy but annoying because I have to just sit there and kill Medusa heads until I get one. Oh wait, what level is this thing? Okay, it's already past 40. Let me get a ghost on here. Like, a ghost familiar starts off so bad, but whenever it's high level, it's ridiculous. It's still not as good, practically speaking, as the sword familiar, but or even the fairy because of its special abilities, but it can heal you, which is really neat. I don't remember what level it has to be to do useful soul stealing. It might be 90 or something idiotic like that, I have no idea. Like, I can jump down in here and see if it'll attack the enemies and do something. Yeah, see, it attacks them fairly slowly, and it does not heal me. But eventually that attack heals, and that's nice. It also attacks faster and does more damage, but it's never really worth it, but it's neat. I like that in Aria of Sorrow they added some souls that made it so like this food that drops here It's like, so, oh, now sushi heals you for more, or, you know, all the food items, or spoiled food heals you for more with the flesh golem. Or, so like the spoiled milk, instead of dropping you to 1 hit point, heals you fully. It's like, you know, it gives you an alternate approach to problems if you've taken the time to collect this extra stuff. Like, Aria of Sorrow is shorter and simpler than Symphony of the Night, but in a lot of ways it's better because it's a lot more streamlined. Like, you can just play the game without really screwing around, but if you want to screw around, you're rewarded for it. And like, Julius mode I think is probably better than Richter mode, but not strictly. That one is probably more of a preference thing, because like, it's really nice to where Julius can just, he has all of the sub-weapons and you just cycle through them, so you can use them situationally, whereas, you know, Richter, you have to play the more traditional style, just like in as Alucard here, where you have to actually collect the sub-weapons in the normal way in order to have them. I also think they did a better job with the difficulty in Aria of Sorrow, and also Circle of the Moon. Like, Aria of Sorrow in hard mode especially, it's nice because, like, instead of the first boss being a cakewalk, it's still easy, but it's an easy kind of thing on par with what you would expect a boss to be. Like, anybody skilled at Aria of Sorrow, the first boss on normal mode will just die without you ever taking damage or even having to think. And that's not great. But in hard mode, it's a super simple boss that becomes a regular enemy later. And just, you know, it's fine. It's a little slow because you don't have a whole lot of stuff going on, but it does introduce you to the game. I think that our Symphony of the Night's first boss as Alucard is a better boss fight. Sort of, anyway, because the flying's kind of annoying, and in my stream you saw it's super easy for me, but... And like, fighting Dracula at the beginning as Richter is kind of a nice way to get you into the game. But... like, most of the bosses, it gets to the point where you can just completely cheese them in Symphony of the Night. If you have gotten lucky or spent some time getting decent junk, then you just completely trivialize everything. So like, you know, using the shield rod is just like, oh, you win now. That's disappointing. You can just choose not to do it, but, you know, you can always say that about anything. It's like, oh, you can choose to make the game harder than it is. It's like, well, yeah, I can play blindfolded, whatever. Like, but that's not really appreciating the game as it is, if at that point. You know, playing the metagame and trying to credit the game for the metagame is, like, not a very strong position to take. You know, it's one thing if, like, the game incorporates a special way for you to do that. So it's like, you know, people do minimum level challenges kind of thing. You know, avoid leveling up, whatever. You know, if a game makes it so you can specifically lock your level, then that's not, you know, some weirdo meta challenge that people added to make the game more enjoyable. That's actually right there supported in the game. It's like, hey, we know that people might like extra challenge, so here it is. It allows you know, it allows the game to natively support multiple play styles. You know, it's like having multiple difficulty levels just in a general sense, but, you know, some games, they mean a whole lot more. Like in Nier Automata, the different difficulty settings completely change the game rather than just being, oh, it's harder on the higher difficulty. It's like you're playing a different game. And then of course that's the, you know, silly difficulty where it's like, oh, you die in one hit, hooray. Lots of games have that, but but, you know, it's like you can't use the automatic lock-on ability or anything like that in the on the high difficulty. It's like, that's very different. You have to control the gun manually, that kind of stuff. It's like, that's a different challenge. It's a bit of a pity you can't just like mix and match these things. And it's like, oh, I want the enemies to be harder, but I want to be able to lock on or whatever, because Like that having more options is pretty much always better as long as it doesn't make it confusing. You know, have advanced options in games. Like have, you know, your basic default settings, and then for people who really want to get more out of a game, have advanced options to allow you to, you know, change the difficulty and stuff. I'm trying my best here to make this less boring. Oh wait. Like, I streamed Brutal Doom. In the old versions of Brutal Doom, the realism difficulty was just one difficulty. It was, and there were a smaller number of difficulty options in the game. Now there are probably too many, but it's actually kind of nice because the different realism difficulties make it feel really different. And this is great because, you know, I don't like to play on the highest realism difficulty in Brutal Doom because I don't find it as much fun as the next one down. And it's great that I'm not forced to play on, you know, some difficulty I don't like just for it to be harder than the regular thing. It'd be like if you had to play, like, I'm good at the game, so I can play on Ultraviolence easily, and Nightmare would normally be the next thing up. But Nightmare's not very much fun. In Original Doom, I mean, or Brutal Doom. It's more fun in Brutal Doom, but it's really for, you know, crazy people kind of thing. Like, I can appreciate Nightmare. It's its own kind of challenge, but it's not the next step up in difficulty. It's just a different kind of game. You can't play the same way. And that's not a bad thing, it's just that it's disappointing there isn't a next step up. But there's only so far you can go in a lot of things. You know, there's only so skilled that people can be, and beyond, and even ignoring that, there's only so much that you can do before it stops being fun. So, like, I played Sigil,
I'll follow you anywhere.
Doom episode 5 or whatever it is, you know, the new thing. And I initially started playing it just, you know, vanilla. I mean, I was playing as Andronum, but I was just playing, you know, regular unmodified Doom. And I was like, it's okay, but really, enemies take forever to kill, and it isn't very enjoyable. Like, now part of that is I'm spoiled by playing modern games where things, and in particular Brutal Doom, where things are very fast-paced. And so, it's, you know, it's like glacial by comparison. But it's not even so much just the speed, it's that, you know, when you shoot an enemy, it doesn't really feel like you've done anything. And this is a bigger problem in Sigil than it was in the previous episodes. Because Sigil has a different kind of enemy arrangement. Okay. On the sword here.
It's my pleasure.
But yeah, so I stopped pretty early on in Sigil and just switched to playing it in Brutal Doom instead, and I had way more fun that way. Like, I feel bad not playing the game as it's, you know, intended, but at the same time, you know, games are meant to be fun, ideally. I mean, some people design games to be not fun, and that's fine too, but generally speaking, games are meant to be fun. People are supposed to enjoy themselves. And, you know, if I can do that by just playing this mod, Brutal Doom, why not, right? And I can still appreciate the thing as is, because Brutal Doom doesn't, like, just completely transform the game into something unrecognizable. It just is the same game, with a more modern feel to it. And that's really a nice way to do it, I think. Alright, I'm gonna go beat on some final guards. There's definitely something to be said for preserving the essence of a game. So, like, Mario hacks are pretty major thing. They've been around for a long time. And I personally like Mario hacks that feel like real Mario. Even if they're harder or whatever. I like it to feel like Mario World, Mario 3, whatever. I prefer Mario World hacks personally, but either way, I like it to feel like I'm playing the playing real Mario levels, rather than feel like it's this mechanical, not natural, fluid thing. So like a big thing about Mario World, as compared to say even Mario 3, is the levels have flow. You can basically just run and jump and never stop running and jumping. And that's how they go. But then you have a lot of Mario hacks that are very strategic, as it were. And you spend a lot of time not running because you have to make very carefully timed jumps. You have to make very precise, complicated jumps. And that's not bad. I just don't find that as much fun on average. Which I'm curious about some here. It's worth so much experience, it's unreal. Oh, they're just called Guardians, and that's right. They're final guards in Aria of Sorrow. Well, they're large things, anyhow, but... I don't have to kill them with this, of course. But at this point, it really doesn't matter what I kill them with. Yeah, preserving the essence of a game. Oh hey. I got the God's Garb. It is indeed the strongest of all armor, at least in terms of raw defense, not counting the walk armor, obviously. Doesn't have the resists fire, ice, and lightning thing. Which is relevant. Hey, finally got a great sword. As far as I know, it's a two-hander, because of course it's a two-hander. There it is. Great sword of Albeck. It doesn't have any special ability. You just... I was stuck ducking. That was weird. Anyway, let me think here. Go kill some dodos. Be faster to go down. Maybe it won't be faster to go down if this keeps up. Yeah, whatever. Come on, dang it. It just cycles and is open every other minute. That's all. Don't have my game time tracker running again. When I'm playing PC games, I could have it work automatically, but not for games which are not PC games, certainly. Isn't it impressive that, like, against some enemies, this is basically weaker than my normal attacks? This big, scary, consumable item. Sec, I want to check something. Alright, this is where I wanted to be. Change my category to actually be the game that I'm playing. Might even get something from that dodo eventually. This is why the dodo went extinct. This right here. Alucard. I don't even remember what the heart brooch does. Probably something interesting. Reduce heart consumption. God, this is so dumb. At least it gives me something to do other than just hold the move button, even if it's something I dislike. Be nice if the dodo would drop whatever it is that it drops, so I can move on with my life. Yeah, whatever. I need to go get a heaven sword still. Actually, I need to get 2 heaven swords, but... I'll do this a bit longer before I give up on it and try to farm a different item. Okay. Finally got whatever it is. I feel like I should have 2 of these. Fancy. Went further than I thought. Hey, it only took me that long to get 1 of them. How long could it possibly take to get 2, right? I'll have it before I know it. through the door. There's probably some RNG manipulation thing I could learn to do or whatever, but that's not really my thing. I mean, I realize that I already did some cheat type stuff, but I don't know. Something about it doesn't seem right. It bugs me in a different kind of way. But that's purely a personal thing. Hooray, now I have 2 of them. Yay, 2 rune swords. Can I throw them all? Both. If you have 2 of them, you can attack with both of them, as long as the timing is right. Let's see, I need to head to the chapel. I do need to save. Because that was a pretty major accomplishment, getting 2 rune swords. What was my sword? 77. I don't know if I ever got whatever the rare loot off of that is. Oops. Don't think I got whatever these guys drop either. Actually, no, they drop shortcake, don't they? And I don't know if the resist fire is the common drop off of the gremlins or the rare drop. But, whatever. And I don't remember what bitter flies drop. I'm pretty sure there's something. Oops. Luck potion, how exciting. Dang it. Gold circuit. Shorts HP by holy damage. Now that's an interesting one. Dang it, it wouldn't let me double jump for some reason. I'll just hit save point over here. Oh, I gotta be honest, just screwing around in games is something I enjoy a lot more than, you know, speed running or anything like that. Like, even in Doom, I like to just, you know, even though I've already beaten the games into the ground, I like to, you know, explore the levels still. It's surprising that I can feel like I'm exploring them still, even since I know where everything is in a lot of levels, but still, that's how it is for me. And I enjoy it. Sometime when I'm feeling masochistic, I'll stream Scythe too. I wonder. Interesting. I got something there. I don't know what. Maybe it was nothing new. Yeah. All the little pieces there are worth experience for my sword here. That's interesting. So many night shields. A javelin. Honestly, don't know what I'm killing it for. I'm pretty sure I don't have whatever its rare drop is. Like, but it's worth a lot of experience, jeez. I think it was 13 per screen for the octopus. It was worth 22. Technically, I don't even have to go over there unless it drops something I care about. I don't know why I keep picking them up. Look, javelins. Pretty sure it drops something up. I mean, what doesn't? Just run over, it doesn't... it doesn't really cost me much time. But, I don't know. I wonder if this room's actually symmetrical. Interesting. don't believe I have whatever the Sniper of Goth back there drops. That's a lot of javelins. Yeah, I'm gonna just open me up a web browser here. And look at me some enemy data. Okay, as I thought, this is the one that drops the map long sword. Also Gartang. Map long sword would be really nice to get. Not that I need it or anything, but it's a matter of principle. Hard to believe I ever got a map long sword at all in any of my runs. Or a Garthang for that matter. Just a moment. Okay. I got a Garthang. Unfortunately, that is not a Mablung sword, but it says gets stronger when bloodied, but what it really does is, dang it. Dark Metamorphosis effect whenever you do that. That's not what I actually want to use, so. Oh hey, my sword's over. Level 90 there. That's good. Notice it glows now. Also, the Sword Familiar is a lot more useful, as you can see. Now it's just like, oh look, enemies, and attacks them directly instead of just kind of floating around missing all the time. Also, I can now use it to cheat. Glorious, glorious cheating. Well, I could already use it to cheat. But now I can use it to get outside the map, apparently. Another Garthang. Just in case I really wanted Garthang. Hey, I'll level up my familiars here fighting this crap. So that's something. Clearly this is where I should have been leveling them up all along. Who knew, right? $96. I'm not looking forward to doing Richter mode because I'm really, really bad at it. Unlike Alucard mode, playing as Richter requires you to not be incompetent. Being awful at the game is not conducive to victory as Richter. You go in with patience alone if you're playing as Alucard. That is not enough with Richter. I'm gonna have so many night shields. I already have so many night shields. Oh, it's level 99. Well, whatever, let's max out its experience points, whatever. Think of it. Wow, it's still worth 23. Another Garthang. Alright, how about Ghost? You know, every time that Garthang has dropped, I haven't actually seen it. this. All this for a weapon I'm not even gonna use. Because, you know, I have so much left to do in the game at this point, what with all the bosses being dead. And technically Dracula's alive again, I could go kill him, but... why? Where are you, Mab Longsword? I get 11 experience for Alucard whenever I kill this thing. Oh wait, another Darth thing. That's the first time I've actually seen it on the ground, I think. Or noticed it, that is. It apparently just takes time for the item to fall. It doesn't drop it instantly. Maybe that's why I haven't been noticing it, is if I'm over there whenever it drops, it just falls onto me and I miss it. Well, turn out I already have a Mab Longsword and I just haven't noticed. I do. Well, there's that, I guess. Mab Longsword is just the shield rod, but a sword, and better. I'm glad I checked my inventory. Alright, next up on the list of things. Let me see here, I'm gonna search the interwebs for certain enemies that I haven't gotten their rare item yet. And just crappy mana prism. Hmm. That's what I needed. Open up the bestiary of for Symphony of the Night and just figure it out. Saving is necessary. Running through the list of enemies here to try to see if there's anything I'm lacking other than the Medusa shield, of course. The spiked balls can drop the Axe Lord armor. I had no idea. But I need to see if there's anything interesting that I specifically would like to collect. Werebane would be kind of neat to get, just to have, but oh yeah, I need to go get a Ring of Varda. Well, I'm making my way back over to the outer wall, because that's pretty much the best place to do this. Forgotten about not getting it yet. Seven swords, I need to get one of those. Okay. And I am so bad at this. It should not be that difficult for me to just hit down, up, jump, but no. Oh my goodness, I'm so bad. How am I so bad at this? Circles that I got off of those. not. Okay. And gold circlet's the Salem witch thing. Huh. So odd. Weird. I have some things. There's actually a dagger that these lesser demons drop that I don't have yet. At least I don't think I do. Oh no, I do have it. It's right there. Okay, never mind then. Didn't realize I already had it. No idea. Tulu there drops. I still don't have a Vorpal Blade, but I'm gonna get a Chrysagram instead. So no reason to have both. I want to show off one, I might as well show it off. Because they're very similar. Gorgon drops Stone Sword. That makes sense. Can get one of those eventually. This is the only way to travel, or damn thing. Right. So the reason I wasn't getting the ring before is that you have to have a clear game to get it, apparently. And there it is. The Ring of Varda. Which is incredibly powerful. Surprise, surprise. as well get 2 of them, right? Why not? I can't believe I got one that fast, actually. Go ahead and save. Another ring of Arda. Good times. Save again, I guess. Let's see. I'll go ahead and do the Gorgons since I'm up here. Try to get a stone sword. So stupid. Wow. Okay, apparently I'm just walking. Impressive. There it was. Pretty sure it's in there somewhere. Oh, there it is. Petrifying quotation marks is always a good sign, right? Yeah, it does stone damage. Alright. And I realized I didn't get Chrysagram and stuff back when I was at the Outer Wall, but... I've got plenty to do still, so... I can do it now, in fact, if I feel like it. Because I'm about to have to go back over there. I guess I can go ahead and go up and try to get a Chrysagram. Yeah, that damage. I wish I could use the elevator. I could try to get a Fist of Talcus as well. There's probably a better room. How about this one? Ramen. So yeah, that's Vistatelcus. Now I just need to decide. This is generally considered to be the most powerful weapon in the game because it's the most powerful weapon in the game. You can attack while moving, and you can just kind of button mash with it, and it hits 4 times every single time you press the button. It's very silly. It's more powerful than this. The only thing that's got, the power of Sire's got going for it is it hits everything. I don't have to aim. Now I'm on to the clock tower to try to get a heaven sword. Well, 2 of them actually. Epilepsy. I'll be back in just a minute. Ah. Alright. We're getting down to the end of the stuff I have left to do in the game other than doing silly things. My goodness. I accidentally turned up my volume on my headset. Well, that was unpleasant. I have very sensitive hearing. Oh hey. That was fast. Some good fortune. Whoops. Okay, hang on, let me put on the mirror quest just so I don't have to deal with that nonsense. Oh yeah, I guess I can Medusa shield. The Medusa shield also does damage. Notice it has no defense currently. That's pretty exciting. Mablung sword. There it is. Okay. Yeah, so you can kill stuff with the shield. This, of course, heals them. Pew pew laser beam. It's kind of like a summon spirit type attack. Go into the hidden room probably to do this stuff. Oh, here's probably okay. Yeah, here's fine. Oh, whatever. It's just a flamberge anyway. Did I ever even use a flamberge at any point? I don't even know if I managed to get one before. Honestly, I can probably get away with using like Bat Pentagram or something less blinding. Yeah. It's a lot less unpleasant. One flash instead of staggered flashes. I know at this point most people know that, you know, epilepsy is a thing and is impacted by flashing lights. But a lot of people think that it's just rapidly flashing lights does it. But realistically, that power of Sire flashing that's not consistent and not like super fast is worse for people on average. You can induce seizures in people who aren't epileptic with flashing lights, in fact. It's something everybody has to be moderately wary of. I mean, it's not like dangerous, generally speaking. Yeah, that kind of seizure is usually not life-threatening, but it's not good. Though slow flashing lights do not cause seizures in people, except very rarely, including epileptic people. They do need to be flashing fairly quickly, but just like a continuous strobe is more likely to give somebody a headache than a seizure, mostly. But slightly erratic, fairly rapid flashes, that's definitely not a good one for people with epilepsy. So this particular stream has been a very, very bad one for people with epilepsy. Actually, even this right here is not great. But I keep forgetting to wait. That doesn't look like a pentagram to me. Where are you, Heaven Sword? Another Flamberge. It's a little surprising, considering I'm killing 2 of them every time. Hey, notice the Heaven Sword has basically the same picture as this Chrysagram there. So the Heaven Sword's entertaining, because it does this nonsense. Oops. You can throw it further. But I actually do need 2 of them, because it's not the same if you have more than one. Let's change it up a little. Use a regular pentagram. Ghost is leveling up. Hello. This is not going to be terribly exciting. I'm just gathering up some of the remaining amusing items right now. I'm trying to get a second Heaven Sword. Where is that thing? Yeah, there it is. Got one, need two though. Been running this game into the ground over the last few days. After I get one of these, I think the only thing I really have left to do is break the map. Unless I just want to get everything in the game. Max out every familiar. Oh, goodness. Oh, there it is. Now, the familiars are relics that you can collect in various locations. The Bat card, Ghost card, Demon card, Fairy card, and Sword card here. And whenever you have one of them following you around, they gain experience as you kill things, which is independent from your own experience. And they have various abilities. So, for example, the sword flies around and hits stuff. The fairy can use curative and restorative items on you. So, like, if you get turned to stone, it could use the hammer on you to remove petrify. The fairy card is in the library. You have to... It's at the top of the main room. But you can't get it until you can, like, fly, I think. So here's why I wanted a second Heaven Sword. One, you can do this, but also if you press both attack buttons at the same time, it does that. Which is, in fact, a very powerful attack. Not that I needed it, but... Oopsie. The Ghost Familiar is generally not very good, I'm afraid. They take off this duplicator. And this. There, that. I have so much junk. Let me see. Ah! And this is a thing that a fairy can be useful for, is to immediately free you from the petrify. Not that you can't free yourself. Well, the library is pretty early on in the game, but yeah. Oops. Accidentally cast a spell. Ah! Medusa heads are so annoying. I'm wearing 2 rings of Arda, so I do way too much damage. You have to have beaten the game in order to get them. Let me see here. Actually, I need to go back to the regular castle. Library card, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, the library's connected to the outer walls, so that's where I am right now, but wait, I don't need to talk to him. Dang it! I just used another library card. Fortunately, if you have the mirror armor, you're immune to petrify. Oh, when you said you were pretty far, you meant like because you're not near it. Okay, I understand now. Yeah, the fairy card is right here. Normally, anyway. I already have it, of course, but it's just in this room, just sitting there. But you have to be able to get up here to be able to get it. And double jump's not enough. You have to be able to either high jump or fly. I love that if you throw the Heaven Sword and then run away from it, it still does damage on its way back to you like that. I am on my way back to the chapel. It was top floor, I think. So nice being able to use the elevator in the regular castle. Get the save point up here. I am so bad at pressing down up jump, it's amazing. It's not like it's some difficult button combination, I'm just terrible. Alright, next on the agenda is to break the map. Whenever you have the anti-gravity boots, it's how you do the high jump, where I do this here. And you can do it over and over again, I'm just terrible. I'm really bad at doing almost all of the inputs. Like, trying to cast Soul Steal is completely beyond me. Come on, let's see. There, I managed it. It took like 4 attempts. I'm pretty bad at casting the spells. Let me see here. Alright, I need to put on the sword. Remember how to cast spells. There we go. This is what I was trying to do there. Where the heck am I? Unfortunately, that's not exactly how I needed to do that. At least I successfully got out of the map, but I did not do it in the way I meant to. There we go. And this is how you increase your map percentage. Oops. Wait, no, I need to go further left still. Can I? No. How about up more? Yeah, I really dislike those things actually. Because if you don't have a weapon with a good range on it, you really can't attack them easily. Just like throw knives at them and hope or something. But of course, yeah, I'm level 57. That matters too. Okay, let's see here. Go down more. Whoops. Oh well. I now have an extra 13 rooms explored. Right, yeah, getting knocked out of the room is the worst. And there are just so many enemies that'll do that. You just like walk on screen with some enemies and you stand there for a second and then just suddenly you're not on the screen anymore and you have to go back. Like those Azagals, because every time you hit them they get knocked back in a direction and they're not normally vulnerable to another hit. You just get knocked around by them all the time. Let's see. Honestly, I think the enemies, for the most part, don't do anywhere near enough damage in this game. Very few things feel threatening, they're just annoying. Let's see if I can engineer my way out of the map right here. Oops. No. Let me see here. Yeah, crows really do suck. They're so pointless. At least there aren't, you know, instant death traps in the more modern Castlevanias, like in the first 3 games. Like, oh, you touched a Medusa head and now you're dead because you fell off the bottom of the screen. But I can thank Medusa heads for this. Kill things with a shield. And since I have the Mablung sword, lasers. There's just something satisfying about killing stuff with my shield. You can do it with the dark shield too. I think you can do it with the fire shield, but I don't really remember. I haven't tried yet on this run. Nope. But you can do this. Actually incredibly powerful. The shield rod and the Mablung sword kind of break the game. They are just too strong. Especially if you use with the Alucard shield. Like, if you ever feel like not really having very much fun with a boss fight, you just use the Alucard shield and the shield rod, and then you win. How much does it cost? I don't have enough MP. There we go. I'll need to get my MP back before I can attack with it. I don't remember how much it actually costs to use it. I love Aria of Sorrow. And I know what you mean. Aria of Sorrow is my favorite Castlevania game. There we go. I don't know why my Alucard shield wasn't working. Yes, now it hits for 255 damage and does soul steal, and gives me hearts, and it's very silly. It also makes you invincible after you hit something with it for 3 seconds. You can kill the final boss in about 4 seconds using this. It's very stupid. There's all sorts of ridiculous stuff in Symphony of the Night. There are just way too many things you can do. Yeah, Aria of Sorrow definitely feels a lot more fine-tuned. Like, it's kind of a pity that in Aria of Sorrow a lot of the souls are just not useful in fact, but it's good that you don't need to collect everything just to be able to play the game. And it's not like 90% of the weapons are clunky and awful. They're a lot more fluid to fight with. Like, every single time I've started Symphony of the Night, I've gotten first the short sword, like you expect to get, and then a red rust off of the first two skeletons after you lose your equipment. And like, why would you want? Yeah, that's another thing. Why would you want a red rust? Yeah, getting sent flying in Symphony of the Night really sucks. It happens badly. Everything sends you flying, and it's just, oh, it's so frustrating. I actually just recently replayed Aria of Sorrow again, and I did it without using the Claim Soleus because I was just like, it kind of ruins things, so I just do whatever. Use whatever weapon I feel like using. I've been running around using Marcel mostly in this run of Symphony of the Night. But I have a Mornblade. It's not like I have any reason to use any particular weapon. I've already beaten the game 100%, but it's still, it is at least nice that I can mess around and have these various weapons that are funny to use. Oops. Turn my fairy on, whatever. Heal myself by attacking torches. Mornblade does soul steal on everything that you hit. So torches heal you, everything heals you. Yeah. Like, yeah, I can 100% the game in like 6 hours, but I've played the game a bunch. But it's so much fun. Like, I have replayed it over and over and over again, even though it's only 6 hours long. I'm not exactly sure what about it that I like so much, but I really enjoy Aria of Sorrow. Yeah, no, this is what I wanted to do. Okay. God! I can't jump to save my life. Like, even if I'm doing a New Game Plus in Aria of Sorrow, and I'm just like running around with the Chaos Ring for infinite MP and just spamming Red Minotaur Soul, I still enjoy it. Like, everything dies in one hit and I don't even have to think, but I still have fun. I have less fun with that kind of stuff in Symphony of the Night, and I don't really know why, because it should be basically the same. Kill Yorick. See here. That's a lot of damage. Chrysaegrim here is the best weapon in the game according to everybody, and they're correct. I actually just watched a speedrun of Aria of Sorrow where someone was very much underleveled. They killed Balor just by jumping, because all you have to do is just jump. Like as long as you don't let his fists get where he's punching an alternating pattern, you can pretty easily dodge it. But once his fists get out of whack, it's very difficult. All I have to do is press down, up, jump, and it'll do the high jump, but I am so bad at it. That's okay, I'm bad at fighting Balor also. He's like the only boss I have any difficulty with at all ever. And I don't really know why. Yeah, people tell me that Death is like the hardest boss, but I've never really had much trouble with him. I don't know. So, like, sometimes I'll get where I can't duck under his attacks when I'm supposed to be able to, and that's bad, but otherwise I don't usually have any trouble. Like, Death definitely should be harder than Balor, but for some reason I have more trouble with him. Of course, it kind of depends on what souls you've got on hand, because some souls make it a lot easier. Like if you're using a giant ghost, for example, then you can just ignore the sickles, because they'll get reflected. Of course, other than that, there's not a lot that you can do to him other than just attack him. And so if you don't have a good weapon, then it's going to be a slow fight, and then you're just dodging forever and ever. I might stream Aria of Sorrow sometime. I definitely like it a lot. I don't know why I keep letting myself get poisoned. Ascalon, I guess, at that point. Oops. Wait a sec. I don't need to go in there. Did you get the, let me see, Balmung from the arena? Down in the, right to the right of the boss room? Where you have to go through the, like the spikes or ride the platform and all that stuff. Its attack pattern is hilarious. I hate him so much. Yeah, they are not easy. Now that I've played the game a fair amount, I don't usually have any trouble with them, but it's not simple. But there's a very good sword in the third one, and there's good armor in the second one. I think it's the second and third one that have the armor and the sword respectively. But the Balmung, the sword it's like a spear. It appears out of your hand rather than like swinging it actually. And it's gigantic. It's one of the biggest weapons in the game. That is the ring that has MP regeneration, I think. Or increased MP regeneration. It's some kind of ring, I don't remember which one it is. Maybe it's the rare ring, actually. Causes the rare items to drop more often. It's hard to keep track of, exactly which items come from where, but I'm pretty sure it's a ring anyhow. Purple blade. That was the thing I came here for, even though I don't need it. It's like Ghetto Chrysagram. Because this is the inverted castle, and so it's upside down. This is the Vorpal Blade. It's like Chrysagram, but it only swings once. For less damage. Whenever you get the correct path in the game, you, instead of killing the boss, you go to the upside down castle so that you can kill Dracula. You have to get both the gold ring and the silver ring, and then you can go to the clock room, and that'll allow you to go into, see the square room exactly in the center of the map? It'll allow you to go into there. Which requires you to also have killed certain bosses, but you have to do that in order to get the gold ring and the silver ring. So basically you just have to go everywhere. It'll become apparent whenever you get there. Okay, just a second. I'm going to end this for just a moment, but I'm going to start again. I just want to stop this video right here because that's all that I was going to do on Symphony of the Night. I'm going to start up Aria of Sorrow. So I will stream again in just a sec.